So somebody on the internet said Epiphone Les Pauls are coming with better sounding pickups than Gibson USA. Really? I think we better figure this out. My buddy Ben Ash from Sam Ash sent me this Epiphone 59 Les Paul reissue. I didn't ask for it. In fact, I was a little upset about it because the last time I reviewed an Epiphone Les Paul, it came with the Pro Bucker and the Ceramic Pro Epiphone pickups. And I gotta be real, I don't say it very often, but I hate those pickups. I just hate them. They sound terrible. And over and over and over in the video I said, why wouldn't they just put, I don't know, Gibson USA pickups in these guitars? It'll make them sound so much better. This guitar hadn't even come out of the case yet, I get this comment. And yet they sold Epiphone 59 Les Pauls with unpotted Burstbucker 2 and 3 pickups for $799. An $800 Chinese guitar that sounds better than 90% of Gibson's. Guess it comes down to how much you need to spend to feel vindicated. My mind went like because if you saw my recent episode, putting 3 different Les Pauls with 3 different PAF style pickups against each other, and talking to my good friend Jim DeCola, the master luthier over there at Gibson, he explained the difference between potted and unpotted pickups. Original PAFs didn't come potted, putting wax in your pickups to stop the microphonic noise, because when PAFs first came out, people weren't playing at gent level distortion. Is that really true? And I immediately ran over to the case, opened this thing up, plugged her in at like 1:45 in the morning. In tune. And I could not believe my ears. It sounded so good. I love Gibson pickups. I've been meaning to review the Burstbucker 2 and 3 on this channel. I immediately messaged Jim DeCola and told him all about this comment. What do you think about this? And this is what he said. I didn't know Epiphone were doing unpotted pickups. You can still compare them head to head. Unpotted pickups are cheaper for us to make. Potting costs us time, which of course costs us money. We pot pickups for the benefit it provides. USA would get numerous customer service complaints concerning pickup feedback and squeal. It all depends what is important to the player. I personally hate the sound and response of unpotted pickups, but that is my personal preference. My good friend Tom Murphy will say the opposite because that is his personal preference. Unpotted custom buckers with Alnico 3 magnets would be the only pickup I personally hate the most, but it sells well to the custom shop clientele. If that historic accuracy is what you're after, we offer it. If modern performance is what you're looking for, we offer that too. The historic market is a smaller segment of the market which is important, but what is important to them is not for everybody. That's why I came up with the concept of dividing our product into the original and modern series. Also note, comparing Burstbucker Pros will also be comparing a difference in windings and magnets as well as unpotted and potted. It would be cool if you compared a USA guitar with Burstbucker 3s, which are potted to the unpotted. Did you get all that? Follow me so far? So I want to know if these Burstbucker 2 and 3 that have Alnico 2 magnets that are unpotted, if they really sound better than what's in this Les Paul. The Burstbucker Pros with the Alnico 5 magnets that are potted. How good has the quality of these Epiphone Les Pauls become? Have you guys also had your feed blown up by Gibson that they're reissuing the Falcon amp? I thought I would do this Les Paul off, if you will. The Les Paul duel between the Epiphone and the Gibson through Les Paul's actual 1963 to 1965 Falcon amp. This amp lived in his kitchen. This is the amp he used for the better part of 45 years to the end of his time on this planet. And you're probably asking yourselves, Benny, how do you have Les Paul's actual amp? I've become dear friends with my buddy, the mayor of Mahwah, New Jersey, Mr. Jimmy Wysocki, like Ozzy Osbourne, Mr. Jimmy Wysocki! Mr. Jimmy Wysocki! Who was Les Paul's best friend and confidant for the last 27 years of his life. I did an incredible interview with Jimmy, telling about all of his experiences with Les Paul, with my great friend and guitar virtuoso, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, from Whom Gods Destroy, Sons of Apollo, Guns N' Roses, Asia, the guy's everywhere, but he met me and the mayor at the Martin Factory in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for the amp. In the words of Frank Sinatra, I feel bad for people that don't drink Canada Dry, because when they wake up in the morning, that's the best they're gonna feel all day. Oh, is there such thing as being too good? So I posted a picture of that beautiful, beautiful Falcon amp, asking people, do you want me to play these Les Pauls through Les Paul's Falcon amp? And everyone said yes. One comment was, yes please, but keep it clean, heart. Like Les Paul would want us to hear it. And that's true. because Les Paul wanted his guitar sound to be as clean as possible. Which is why he was so into the low impedance pickups. This amp is really awesome. Take a look at this thing. You got a volume, you got a bass to treble, so it's kind of one knob. Then you got a reverberation, so it's not reverb, it's a reverberation tank. You got a depth and frequency for your tremolo. Gibson Electronics, division of Gibson, Kalamazoo. This thing's the real freaking deal, man. But how to keep it clean. So check out this demo and let me know what you think of the Burstbucker Pros in my Gibson USA Les Paul Standard versus the Burstbuckers 2 and 3 that are unpotted, still Gibson USA pickups in this beautiful Epiphone 59 reissue. Well, I have a favorite, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. But I also know that keeping it clean is only a very small portion of what I do, because I like to rock and I like to roll and I like to know what it sounds like to distort. But the most revelatory experience I had with this Epiphone Les Paul was putting it in my good friend Paul Lorenzo's hands. I've had him on the show before, the drummer for my band Lost Symphony. He's also my friend with strong opinions. That's Paul! We don't always agree. So I took this guitar along with this guitar. I put them in his hands and we did a little experiment. Let's see how it went. It actually came in a hard shell case. So I'm gonna let you open it, I'm gonna let you plug it in. Tell me what you think.
Cool. That's a nice case. Fancy.
Let's get a look. Oh yeah.
So it's got like a satin finish sort of thing.
That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah, I don't know. You know.
I don't hate it, right?
Apples and oranges. The fingerprints kind of tend to show up a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the satin finish personally. I'll say, if I'm being honest.
Can I still be Ben?
Sure. Surely you can't be serious.
Actually, I'm dead serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Oh, it feels nice. It's definitely got some girth to it. Bit of a beefy neck.
Doesn't it feel a little bit thick to be a 59?
Yeah, it does.
Is that Wasp?
No, come on, feel the, oh no, Metal Health.
Can we take a moment for Kevin DeBrow?
Yep, yep.
Cool. One of the guys on the internet basically said that the $7.99, what you're holding in your hand, Epiphone, sounds better than a lot of the Gibson USA guitars. Is the Epiphone better sounding than the Gibson, and how well does it play by comparison?
It sounds and plays as good as any Gibson I've played.
Really?
I feel like.
I'm gonna put a Gibson I was using in your hands. Now granted, the Gibson I'm gonna give you is a standard, and it has a nicer top. Is that surprising to you how good it plays and sounds?
Yeah, for sure.
What's been your perception of Epiphone in the past?
I'm usually not an Epiphone guy, I have to admit, unless it's something like a Sheridan or something that's
Specifically
Epiphone, yeah, I'd rather go for the Gibson. It's more of a name thing. It's kind of the same thing as the Fenders and Squires. Lately, the Squires have been coming out with stuff comparable to the Fenders, and it's for half the price.
I wanted to know what you think mostly about the difference in feel and sound. Hearing Paul play this guitar through my VHT, these pickups came to life even more with some gain on them. But now we'll do part 2 of my demo through the Falcon. Let's go back to the pure cleans for Les Paul. There's no question that these pickups are darker for me, but I cannot believe how good this thing freaking sounds. I called Ben Ash the next day after I played this thing all night to tell him I could not believe how good this guitar was for $799, considering the fact I have 70 Gibsons. What do you think?
Well, the neck is a little bit beefier on this one. These pickups seem to have a little bit more low-end body to them.
This one definitely has more cut to it.
Yeah.
Right? It has more cut.
More brightness,
and it's
more
a little,
top
yeah,
end.
and definitely louder pickups. That one, it's more of that vintage PAF sound to me. So you're telling me between both Les Pauls, it's always the G string. That's like all guitars. All G strings are out.
Yep.
Got you sweating, Paul.
Yeah, I know it. Look at that, huh?
Which sounds better to you?
I like the sound of this one better, to be honest with you.
Why?
I don't know. It's got a little bit more body to it, not quite as much of the shrill high end.
For me, these Burstbucker Pros are like the more metal version of those. Those
Okay.
are more of like the classic, but you're old, right? So
Right.
you like that
So
sound.
that makes sense to me. I turned the gain down when you went in the other room because it was too much for me. So yeah, that's definitely, I'm more of a classic rock tone guy.
So as far as the 59 reissue, would you say that that's closer to the 59 sound for you?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, for sure.
You made a bold statement before that played as good as any Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, other than the thickness of the neck, I think it plays just as good. And actually, I don't mind the thickness of the neck, to be honest with you. I feel like that one was a little bit thinner than I liked it.
This is,
to be
yeah, this is
honest
like one
with
of
you.
these 60s dread neck on this thing.
I'd like a little bit more beef than that. Not quite the baseball bat. This is comfy.
Here's a bold question. If they both said Gibson, which one would you leave with? This guy or that guy? And that's a $3,000 guitar. That's a $3,000 guitar.
I would be hard pressed. I feel like I might end up leaving with this one. The only thing that I don't like about this one, to be honest, is aside from, you know, the name on the headstock, the satin finish isn't my favorite.
As far as the sound and the way it plays, you're not wanting for anything.
No.
Are you ready? Dude, that thing sounds really good. It's the Epiphone.
Yeah, yep. I like the sound of it, the feel of it. I even like the look of it, aside from the satin thing. The entry-level stuff is coming up.
All right, man. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm completely impressed with this guitar and how it holds up with a little bit of rock and roll in it. But now we need to go back and hear what the tremolo sounds like on this Falcon. I hope my friends Les Paul and Mary Ford are proud. I'm blown away. I have never endorsed Epiphone. You're not gonna be disappointed. These Burstbucker 2 and 3s are rad. So if you want one, please go see my friends at Sam Ash at the link down below. And congratulations on 100 years, guys. That's freaking badass. The only thing I can imagine doing in 100 years, besides shopping at Sam Ash, if I make it, will be the fact that I'm still enjoying this beautiful nectar of the gods they call Canada Dry. Never thought I'd say it, but I think I have room in my heart for an Epiphone Les Paul. Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?